Hi, Matt Battiata with the Battiata Real Estate Group. Today we're going to talk about how to negotiate multiple offers. So you're a seller, you're selling your home, and you are fortunate enough to be in a multiple offer situation. We've talked about how we negotiate offers on other videos, but just to do a quick recap, even when there's one offer on the table, even when you have a full price offer, there's a handful of things we always counter out. We always counter out that the buyer has to cross-qualify through our lender. That way we make sure that they're qualified. Of course, we would have gotten their pre-approval letter and their proof of funds before we even let them in to see the property. So we know they're pre-approved. We know that they have the funds to buy the house if they're paying cash. It's a proof of funds showing enough cash to actually pay cash for the house. If they're putting 5, 10, 20, 30% down, and that's the loan program that they're in, we want to verify that they have that amount of funds ready to use for the purchase of the home. But we also want to have them cross-qualify with our lender. That way we know that they're actually qualified. So that's all things that with one offer on the table we negotiate. We also negotiate the contingency periods down to a reasonable amount of time. So again, we're not taking offers that are contingent on the sale of another home unless that home's already in escrow and those buyers have removed their contingencies. But there's contingencies with every offer. So a buyer comes in and makes an offer. It's contingent on them they have a contingency period to do their due diligence, do home inspection, to review seller disclosures, to make sure they can get fire insurance, which is very difficult right now, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But again, to do their home inspection, to go through seller disclosures, to review homeowners association documents if there's an HOA, for their bank to come out and do an appraisal. Sometimes we have that appraisal contingency waived. Sometimes, if they're getting a loan, there's going to be a loan contingency. All that is negotiable, and so we want to limit the contingency period down to a reasonable period of time. It could be a week, it could be 10 days, could be 12 days, but we don't want to leave those contingencies in for the long term. So that's all the things that we negotiate. Of course, the price, the services, meaning the title and the escrow company, and whether the seller's going to pay for a home warranty, and what appliances are included. There's a whole litany of things that we need to negotiate. That's when we just have one offer on the table. But let's talk about when we have multiple offers. And again, we're in that situation a lot because we use our own technique. It's called the multiple offer selling technique. Really effective way to generate multiple offers when we sell a home. So our sellers are very often in multiple offer situations, which as a seller, that is your best case scenario. Because when we have multiple offers, we can bid up the price and we can get all the things that we want because the buyers are in competition. Not just, when I say all the things that I want, all the things I just mentioned, the best terms for the seller, right? Maybe that means selling it as is, we're not doing any repairs. Maybe that means we need a 30-day free rent back. All these different things. But not to get ahead of ourselves, when we just have one offer on the table, there's still a lot of things that we negotiate. What appliances are included? How long are the contingency periods? The buyer's always going to cross-qualify with the lender. We want to get a real deposit, so we always want to get a 3% deposit. That's the maximum amount of money that we can keep from a buyer if they do not follow through in California. So those are all things that we negotiate with one offer. But let's talk about how we handle a multiple offer situation. Now, if you've ever been on the buy side and been in a multiple offer situation, you will know that most sellers, agents, most listing agents, this is how they handle a multiple offer situation. You will get a counter offer, or you might even be just an email from the listing agent to your agent if you're represented by an agent, which I hope you were, saying, hey, listen, we have multiple offers. Seems like everybody wants to buy this house. So we're inviting everyone to submit their highest and best offer. That's how most agents handle it, or a lot of agents, I should say. Other agents, which I don't think this works well for the seller at all, by the way, will just pick the highest offer and take the highest offer. Both of those, I believe, for the seller, leave money on the table. and also make buyers feel like they did not get a fair shot at the property. So let me tell you how we handle a multiple offer situation. Now our job is to get the absolute best price and terms for our seller. So when we have, let's say we have 3 offers on the table, okay? And it could be more than that, but let's just say for the sake of this discussion, we have 3 offers on the table. What I do is we present those 3 offers to the seller. We go over, the pros and cons of each one. Let's just say for round numbers, we're starting at $900,000, okay? And it really doesn't matter, but let's just say the house is listed for $900,000 and our best offer is $905, and we've got them at $895, $900, and $905. We're not just gonna pick the best offer. We are going to go back and forth between all of the offers because we don't know who's gonna go the highest. And let's also say, by the way, that the terms are pretty similar, right? So they're all pretty even terms-wise. And sometimes they may not be, by the way. So sometimes one buyer might be cash, etc. The bottom line is we are going to give everybody a chance to buy this property and to come up the highest. And so what I mean by that is I personally go back and forth with all 3 buyers and ratchet up the price. And so if we're starting at $905 is the highest offer, I'm going to try to get somebody up to, $915. And then once I get one up to $915, I'm going to see if anybody will go up to $920. And then I'm going to see if I can get up to $925, $930, almost like an auction. Now, why is this a smart thing to do? Because we don't know who is willing to go the highest, right? So you just don't know. So we just keep going back and forth, and what happens is, I call it letting the market do its work. What happens is, we will get that price up to the absolute highest price the market will bear. And we know it's the highest price the market will bear because at some point, 2 out of the 3 of those buyers will say, you know what? I'm not going any higher. I'm out. Okay, fine. So we got one buyer up to say $950 or $975 or $1 million or higher. By the way, we've gotten homes up hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I've seen homes bid up $1 million, believe it or not. But at any rate, the bottom line is we find out the absolute highest price that we're going to get these 3 offers up to, and we get all the things that we want with that offer. 3% earnest money deposit, very short contingency period. Maybe the buyer waives the appraisal contingency, all the things that we want, as is, you name it. A free rent back, whatever the heck it is that the seller wants. We get that with our first offer, and that's our highest offer, and we're accepting that offer. Now we go back to the second best offer, and we go to that second best offer and say, listen, we really appreciate your offer. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, the seller accepted a different offer, but we love your offer. We'd like to take it in backup position number 1. And by the way, you only need to be in backup position number 1 for 7 days because that's the time limit on the offer that we accepted. They have to remove all their contingencies within 7 days or 10 days or whatever the time frame is, but it's going to be a pretty short time frame. So I think it's really worth your while because anything could happen. So now buyer number 2 goes, okay, I'm disappointed, but yes, I will be in backup position number 1. Then we go to our second offer, that didn't get it, and we have the same conversation. We say, listen, we're really sorry. The seller actually accepted another offer, but we love your offer, and we'd like you to be in backup position, second backup position. And you only have to do that probably for a week, maybe a little longer. Same type of discussion. So now we have our main offer. We have at least 1 backup and maybe 2 or more backup offers. And that's a great position to be in because if that first offer decides to renegotiate the price, we have backup offers, and we can say, you know what, we have a great backup offer. We're not renegotiating the price. We told you we're selling the houses. If they basically try to renegotiate the deal, we have a lot of leverage because we've got a backup offer or 2. So that is the smartest way to handle multiple offers. Again, I believe a lot of agents out there do not handle them the right way. So you may want to have this conversation when you do have multiple offers, or when you're interviewing an agent. More importantly, ask that agent, how do you handle multiple offers? Let's say we get 3 offers on my property. How will you handle multiple offers? And a good agent, in my opinion, will answer the way I just answered. The problem when you send out a blanket multiple counter offer to everybody saying, give us your highest and best offer, is inevitably, unless the market is on fire, you're going to lose at least one of those buyers, because they're going to say, you know what, I don't want to be in a bidding war. I'm going away, and I don't want to blindly bid against other offers. So I'm gone. That might have been the buyer that would have gone higher than anybody else. So that's so it's not a good way to go. The best way to do it. So by the way, it's the best way for the seller, and it's the best way for the buyers, because buyers appreciate doing it the way I just described, where you ratchet up the price, because they get an opportunity. They had an opportunity to go as high as they wanted, like in an auction. Eventually they bowed out. They weren't willing to go that high, but they can't say we didn't give them a shot. So that's the best way to do it. We really appreciate you watching these videos, guys. Please do us a favor, like and subscribe. It allows us to put videos out to a lot more people. Also, you're alerted when we drop new videos, which we do on a weekly basis. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor, download our seller handbook. It'll save you thousands of dollars and lots of heartache when you sell your home. It's absolutely free. Also, if you're moving out of the San Diego or Southern California area into a different part of the country and you need an agent where you're moving to, I know thousands of agents, top agents all over the country, and I am more than happy to find you, pre-screen you a great agent, so you don't have to just, pick somebody off the internet that you have no idea if they're going to do a great job for you. I know top agents in every market all over the United States and Canada, and also in a lot of European countries, by the way. But anyway, fill out our agent locator form and I will find you a great agent, pre-screen them, and I'm happy to do that. There's no cost or obligation to you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.